I was stunned when my husband suggested going on a vacation with my mother-in-law. I have minimal contact with her. Besides, I couldn't imagine a dream vacation in Greece with the five of us, says Aneta, mother of two sons. Her husband had his way, and the doorknob fell. 2 weeks in a five-star hotel in Crete turned their family relationship upside down. Her birthday is in August, so her husband insisted on making her such a gift. I had no counterargument. And so, in June, my mother-in-law flew with us to Crete, says my interlocutor. I was afraid the whole hotel would hear her excellent parenting advice. And how was the place? But, paradoxically, my Greek holiday with my mother-in-law was the best-worst decision ever. Aneta talks about her holiday. Aneta has been a wife for 10 years and a mother for 5. Unfortunately, her relationship with her mother-in-law has not been the best so far. To put it mildly, my interlocutor explains that we do not like each other. The mother of 2 preschool boys works as an English translator. Her husband is in banking. The children attend kindergarten, but Aneta is responsible for most household chores. I can do most of my work from home, so I pick up the boys and spend most of my time with them. My husband comes home in the late afternoon, and sometimes in the evening, he tells me about his everyday life. Why is he doing this? I have been working hard for 3 years. I returned to work when the boys were still small and went to nurseries. I am also a cook, cleaner, and nurse, i.e. a full-time mother. It's not that I'm complaining, but I want to emphasize that all year round, I look forward to those 2 weeks in June to finally relax and spend time with just the 4 of us, explains the interpreter. Mother-in-law loves to lecture me. It's her horse. Already in February, together with her husband, they made a reservation at a travel agency. Their flight was scheduled for the second half of June. Then she got a surprising offer from him. I was stunned when my husband suggested going on a vacation with my mother-in-law. I have minimal contact with her. Besides, somehow I couldn't imagine a dream holiday in Greece with 5 of us. She remembers her reaction. She immediately listed several reasons I didn't want to spend my dream vacation like this. I was afraid the whole hotel would hear her excellent parenting advice. My mother-in-law loves to teach me. It's her horse. According to her, I cook wrong because boys are skinny. I don't dress them appropriately for the weather, that's why they get sick so much. I don't need to go to the doctors with them so much because there are only germs there, and it does more harm than good. In fact, in her eyes, I do everything wrong. Much attention was paid to respect for parents and grandparents in her family home. My in-laws are elderly. On my mother's advice, I ignored her spiteful remarks. We rarely visit them. Instead, we meet only at family celebrations, he says. Unfortunately, her husband did not give up. Her birthday is in August, so her husband insisted on giving her one. I had no counterargument. And so, in June, my mother-in-law flew with us to Crete. Aneta recalls the beginning of her holiday. I was surprised because until now I had thought of her as a characterful grandmother. And how was the place? I didn't expect that. Paradoxically, my Greek holiday with my mother-in-law was the best-worst decision I've ever made. Praises the mother-in-law's behavior. What did she gain in the eyes of her daughter-in-law? Already at the airport, I noticed that he behaved differently. Probably because she's never been on a plane. Stress was mixed with excitement, so she didn't say much. I took it as a good omen, recalls Annetta. During the flight, the mother-in-law kept staring out the window. At one point, Annetta noticed a tear in her eye. Then I realized in an instant that she had never been on a plane, never been abroad. We flew in the evening, so an incredible sunset was outside the window. She just got excited. I was surprised because I had now thought of her as a characterful grandmother, alien to any empathy, let alone tears. This scene made Annetta see her mother-in-law differently. After unpacking the suitcases, the whole family went to explore the hotel. The children were delighted with the conditions and the view of the Mediterranean Sea, just like their grandma. She kept repeating to her grandchildren that she had never seen anything so beautiful, recalls Annetta. It was an all-inclusive holiday, so the family could not complain about the lack of attractions. She spent her days at the beach or at the patio pool. The children were delighted. And I? The 35-year-old asks herself. After a moment, she replies happily. I've never been so relaxed in my life. Mother-in-law took care of her grandchildren all the time. The boys never left her side. She went with them to the beach and the animator on the playground in the hotel. During the first days, she put her younger son to sleep, and she slept with him at the end of the trip. My interlocutor lists the advantages. Grandma's involvement in caring for her grandchildren meant that Annetta and her husband finally had time for themselves. We managed to have a romantic dinner, just the two of us, a few times. I reached for a drink on vacation for the first time in several years. We also went on a cruise around the island. Just the two of us. The last time I spent so much romantic time with my husband was on our honeymoon in Italy. If it wasn't for Grandma, we wouldn't be able to enjoy each other's company. Annetta admits that her mother-in-law impressed her very much. However, it wasn't until the holidays that she realized boys adored her. Until now, I took everything she said about her grandchildren very personally. He is an old-fashioned man who raised 4 children at entirely different times. Differences in views meant that I limited the boys' contact with my husband's parents to a minimum. Only there in Greece did I understand that she had no bad intentions. It occurred to me that grandchildren should see their grandmother more often, says my interlocutor humbly. Holiday took away her years. Her husband also did not hide his surprise at his mother's behavior. He didn't enjoy her company either. He said many times that his mother always thought she was the most brilliant mother in the world. That's why all his brothers quickly moved out of the house and didn't keep in touch with her. He doesn't have any relationship with her either. Apparently, as a child, she loved to do everything for him, so as soon as he was gone on his own, he breathed a sigh of relief. So where did the idea of spending a holiday together come from? The husband followed the example of his colleagues at work. They take their grandmothers on holiday every year. And just like us now, they see the superlatives of such a getaway. Every parent knows that a holiday with a child is not a holiday. Mom and dad have no time off from childcare. So taking grandma with us gives us extra time for ourselves and something priceless. The joy of grandchildren, concludes Annetta. Even her husband noticed that the holiday positively affected his mother. Not only could she enjoy the time with the boys, but she also rested surrounded by palm trees. She didn't have to cook, clean, or shop. For the first time, she spent a vacation without her husband, who is also not an easy character. From my husband's stories, I know that my father-in-law can get under your skin. No wonder the vacation took her years away. Annetta came back from vacation satisfied. The Greek sun did not disappoint her. Oh, my mother-in-law too.